Hey Daniel, what's up? My name is Nathan Serrell Kenem, and I'm currently a growth operator trying to help a bunch of people grow their businesses from zero to their first 20K a month without paying for ads. And in this video, I just wanted to show you how you yourself can go up to 20K a month as fast as possible. This is going to be a longer video, so I want you to stay really focused in this video, because if you do everything that I'm telling you, you'll get to 20K a month as fast as possible. And this is a very personalized video because I have analyzed your personal brand and I think I understand your offer. I'm liking what I see, but I think that if you implemented the things that I said in this video, you will make 20K a month and even go past that as fast as you can. So I want to start off with the objective, right? The objective for any business is to make the most amount of money as possible in the shortest amount of time as possible while having the most amount of money sustained for the longest period as possible. Therefore, in order to achieve this objective of making the most money, the most important question we have to ask ourselves in order to achieve this is to analyze where we are, right? So we're here with 1,264 followers, which is a good amount of following. You have a nice bio, I'd give it to you. I like your stories and I like your offer. But our dream outcome is to make 20K a month, have time and financial freedom needed. We need to spend less than 20 hours a day on our business. I want you to spend as little amount of time as possible so you get freedom. Have a well oiled business machine that reliably makes money and go viral and have the status of being one of the greatest fitness coaches out there. And so, if we're here, this is our point A, and we want to get to point B. How do we bridge that gap, right? What path must we follow to get from where we are to our dream outcome, right? Well, it's obvious we must first optimize our business to achieve this. But that's still kind of vague. Everyone will tell you that. The question is, how do we optimize our business? So, Daniel, in all of my business operations, you can break down a business into these four main parts: marketing, sales, product, and operation, right? If you improve any part of your marketing, your sales processes, your product, and your backend operations, you are trying to make your business successful and you're optimizing your business. And I want you to help you today to give you the easiest pathways to improve all of this, your marketing, sales, products, and operations for your specific offer as a fitness coach and for your specific niche, right? So we start off with product creation, right? Product creation is the vehicle that will get us to our goal. It is the core deliverables that we market and sell to our clients to get them to achieve their goals. In this instance, it's losing weight, and our goal is making over 20K a month. There are many ways to package a product in 2025 that I've seen. These are the biggest ways, right? So a lot of people have one-to-one coaching, one-to-many coaching, inner circle, high-level course, a community. If you take a look at our audience size on Instagram, we have 1.2 thousand followers, right? And so the best courses of action are either one, a community to get your followers in, or a coaching one-to-one. If you can do a high ticket coaching where you charge 4 to 10K a month and you have 5 to 10 clients, you can easily make 10K a month. To make 20K a month, past 20K a month. Because to make 20K a month, you just need five people each paying you $4,000. And that's it. You have 20K a month. And you do weekly one-to-one call, direct texts, and you get the best results. My hypothesis is that if you did coaching, and maybe if you did a community with what we like to call an ascension funnel in sales, that you can make 20K a month. And my hypothesis is that for our audience size below 10K a month, you can make the most money on coaching. The pros of one-to-one coaching is that it targets the smallest section of our audience with the biggest problem and the most amount of money. So you want to target in your 1.2 thousand K following size, you want to target the people who are hyper interested with the most amount of money and to solve the hyper specific problem, be it trying to lose weight, getting their mindset in order. And it's a good delivery system if you do one-to-one, because you can actually get the best results from these people and you can focus on getting testimonials. Okay, But the caveat is this, and I want to come to this. It's like a quotation marks. Before we can know exactly how to package our product, we must first let the audience decide it first. See, the wrong method to sell something is just giving your audience a product, right? The correct method is to first confirm what your audience wants and then allow them to tell you what they want to be sold to before you can sell it to them. The best analogy for this is the restaurant menu analogy. So imagine you're a chef opening a restaurant, you know? The wrong way to do it is to create your favorite dish, say liver stew, and serve it to everyone without asking most of your guests. So they push the plates away, disappointed because they never wanted liver stew, you know? But what if instead you asked your guests what they were hungry for? Maybe pasta, maybe sushi. Then you cook what they've already told you to what they want, and suddenly everyone's satisfied, everyone's feeling great. So that's where the epiphany comes in. We must then find out what our audience is hungry for, and we must do this by conducting market research. I'm sure you've heard of market research, but I want to show you how we conduct market research for our clients in order to ensure the best results possible. So starting a business is equivalent to solving a problem worth of value for your audience. And that means that the core of a business is serving your audience as best as possible. And this means that you must deeply understand your audience. The number one mistake that a lot of a lot of fitness creators make is that they go out there and they assume that the audience of other people is similar to their audience. So Alex Eubank has a specific audience. Sam Sulek has his specific audience. Greg Doucette has a specific audience. And if you think that you can take this guy's audience and just apply it to yours, you get it all wrong because you find out that there is kind of like a clash. You know, your audience isn't going to be the same as them. So you have to fundamentally find out your audience in order to know exactly what to sell to them and to make money from them. So I typically use a customer research form, and this is the form that I give many of my clients. You can just take it, you know, where we try to find out the promise in the dreamland as detailed as possible, the common problem of our ICP. ICP the common problem of ICP, the journey of potential clients take, the problem list, the desired situation. What is the gap and how do they bridge it? Our unique selling point and our unique selling point detail, the reason to believe us, the features and the benefits of what we're providing, our product deliverables, our high ticket offer sales argument, our customer verticals, the potential questions, objections, and objection handles, right? So with this, you're basically trying to map out the psychological framework of our ideal client, right? We're trying to find out what do they actually want? What's their dream life? What's their promise? What are we promising that our product can get them, right? What's their journey? What's their problem? You know, it could be that they're fat, it could be that they're skinny, it could be that they just don't have enough motivation. We need to find out their problems, their desired situation, their true desired situation. It could be maybe they want to impress their friends with the way they look, maybe they want to get a new girlfriend, maybe they want to just lose their body weight and be healthy people, you know. The gap, and how do they bridge it? The gap could be like they're unmotivated to go to the gym, they don't have a gym close by, maybe they don't have enough time and they want to stay at home and be able to do a workout. Then we get the reasons to believe. Why should they believe you, Daniel, as a coach? Our product deliverables. What do they get if they buy a course? You know, our high ticket sales of offer sales argument. Like what justifies the price point of our product? You know, our verticals, our questions and objections and objection handles. You know, and so once you've kind of mapped this out by yourself, that becomes like a hypothesis, right? I don't know if you're a science guy, but every time you have a hypothesis, you have to test out the hypothesis. So, how do you actually carry out market research, and how could you carry out market research today, right? I want to show you the main ways to conduct market research that we like to use for our clients, right? There are two main ways. Use the Instagram story DM method, right? If you're short on time, you can do this immediately today. You could do it right now as you watch this video. So what happens is that you set up a bunch of Instagram stories just teasing a lead magnet. A lead magnet could be like the best ab workout, a diet guide that they can use, the best home gym exercises, you know, how to gain 10 pounds of muscle in 10 weeks, you know. You'll have a lot of your audience reply to the story. And then once they reply to the story using ManyChat or Go High Level, whatever one you want, whichever one you want to use. You ask them a bunch of questions. You say, hey, I'm working on something interesting and I would like you to help me, right? Most of our audience and most people's audience love reciprocity, right? If you're giving them something, they would want to like give you something back. So they will definitely answer your questions, right? And so you ask them, what's your goal with fitness? How much money do you have to invest? What methods have you tried before? You basically ask them the questions that are in our customer research form, right? And then you send them the lead magnet. And if you do this a bunch of times, 10, 15 times, you'll get to understand who exactly your audience is, right? The method I prefer and the method that I think is better is the market research call method, right? It's where you hop on a call with your audience and you take down exactly who they are, you build a customer avatar on them, like their average age, who they are, what type of what type of way they speak, what country they live in, right? And the reason I like this call method is that it's more personal, right? So the way you set up this is that you're gonna take 10 to 15 calls, free calls with your audience, and you're just gonna shoot this market research questions at them. And once you do that, you're gonna have a very, very clear understanding. 10 to 15 may seem a lot, but once you do this, you will have a very clear understanding of your audience and you'll understand exactly what to sell them to make the most money. Most people don't do this, but we want to be different and we want to make 20K a month as fast as we can. So you put out a story. Let's get into the meat of it. You put out a story teasing your new program. Tell them, I'm trying to create this new program. It's in the works. Tell them that you're giving away 10 free calls and that five of them are already booked. This is to create scarcity, to help to make them want to book, You put out a CTA saying, DM the word this or reply to this story this word. It could be any word, the word call, the word free, the word DM. And then in the DMs, you qualify them. I'll give you a qualifying script that you can use. So you ask them who they are, what their goals with fitness are, what they do for work, how much money they would invest. And then this is where you send them the Calendly and take the call. And on the call, you ask them questions pertaining the market research document. You just ask them the same basic questions, right? And our goal is to be as clear as possible. We want to be crystal clear. Anybody within the InfoSpace offer that's selling has to have a very clear understanding of their ICP. I'm telling you, Daniel. And with all that, although grueling, you'll understand your audience, right? Now, the next logical step after understanding your audience is understanding the offer that you have to sell them, the offer that will get them to buy the most, and the offer that they want to hear. So we get into offer creation. I want you to picture this, Daniel. You're trying to picture this analogy. You're trying to give someone a present in order to win their favor. Your friends give a motorcycle and a Lamborghini. You have to give not just the best gift, but also one that is packaged in the best way so that you can position yourself as the most favorable compared to the other people, right? You want to give out the best gift, right? So, what are the seven elements of an offer? It's the main gift, the core product you're selling, which is the mechanism and how it's specifically unique. It must be something that's unique. The wrapping paper, that the way it's packaged is the way a product is further positioned away from our competitors in the customer's mind. So with there's this thing called niche theory that I want to tell you about, Daniel. And I don't know if you've ever heard about it, but it's the idea that we are in a very hyper competitive market. And I want to be honest with you. We're in a very hyper competitive market. Everyone is trying to sell a fitness info product offer, right? There are 1,001 coaches out there. You must ask yourself, Daniel, why should your viewer trust you as a person, right? You need to ask yourself this question, right? And how do you position yourself away from your competitors? You have to fundamentally position yourself from all the other big people within the market, all the other people selling coaching offers, everyone. And you do that by creating a safety net, a time frame, and pricing. But there are also other ways to do that. So safety net, time frame, and pricing mainly are the wrapping paper of your offer. Telling them that if they don't achieve their result, you pay them $1,000. I've seen that before. Or you'll tell them they'll achieve their result guaranteed within the next 90 days. So that they can feel cared for. They can feel that there's no risk involved in taking our offer. then the feeling that they will get, the outcome the creator's customer will get, it's called a polarizing outcome, right? So we want our audience to feel most polarized. What I mean by that is to get the most emotion, the most emotional punch from our offer. It has to target exactly what they want. An example is, let's say you're a fitness coach that does specifically weight loss for vegans. So vegans will be more polarized to the offer because they feel it. A vegan can go there and go to a mainstream offer and they can be told this will help you lose weight. But if they found an offer that's specifically targeted towards vegans, they love it. They'll be more polarized. So the pillars of the best offer are this. And so how do you go by creating an offer? That's the main question we're trying to answer here. You get a quantifiable end result, a time frame within a niche, a risk reversal, and a unique mechanism. You can pause to read more of this. And once you have all of this in place, you condense it into what we like to call an offer statement. An offer statement is a short, concise, punchy phrase that goes in your sales page, your sales page and your Instagram bio in the format below. I help X niche do X goal in 90 days using X unique mechanism without pain point and risk reversal. I've seen you have an offer right now. I don't know how much market research you've put into that offer, but I do like it. An offer statement is just a short, hyper precise statement that is meant to pique your audience's curiosity because it solves the biggest pain point. It should solve the biggest pain point in the shortest amount of possible without any barriers. And so once you have the right offer, you've done your market research, you've done product creation, you have the right offer, you're ready to start selling them, and you have to dial in your sales side, your sales systems, right? This is where the selling happens, and this is where many people go wrong. Because although there are many fitness coaches out there, many people don't know how to sell, right? You need to become a salesman primarily. You do that by creating a funnel, right? A funnel in its essence is a group of stimuli through which your audience goes through that takes them from being unaware of your product to cash in hand, ready to buy leads. The dating analogy is the most common one, right? So imagine at first your partner doesn't even know you exist, right? You go out there, you smile across the room, maybe send a DM or compliment their taste in music. You go on a few dates, build trust, show your values. Over time, they realize you're exactly what they've been looking for. Eventually, they say yes to a committed relationship. Do you see how it had to go steps by steps? You can't just approach a girl and tell her, I want to marry you. That will 99% of the time never work. And just like dating, a funnel is a structured journey of interactions that guides someone from a total stranger to a deeply invested, if done with care, clarity, to deeply invested, if done with care, clarity, and alignment. There are different types of funnels you can follow, right? I want to give you the best funnel, the Instagram funnel, right? In this, I'm going to show you how you can leverage your Instagram in order to get high ticket clients that pay you 4 to 10K a month so you can make 20K a month profit as fast as possible using their Instagram funnel. And a lot of coaches are using this, right? So the Instagram funnel is based on the idea that everyone who follows you, comments, likes on your story has shown interest and potential in your brand and what you're selling, right? And therefore it uses lead generation frameworks to get these people to DM you and book a call with you and eventually become your clients. And these frameworks can be essentially divided into two parts. There's content generation here and there's conversion here. You have two levers that you have to pull in order to make this work, right? Content generation, right? To efficiently perform this funnel, you need content that attracts your viewers, that keeps them, that that's interesting. And that can be in the form of Instagram Reels. A lot of people are doing Instagram Reels, because it can be pushed out to a wider audience. So what to make on Instagram Reels? The best way to do Instagram Reels is this. I have a deeper Instagram masterclass. If you want that, I can send it to you. Just DM me. So, but the best way to do it is essentially this: recreate viral, trendy content, but make it niche specific. So go out there and try to find content that you like, right? And then try to find how that content can apply to your niche specifically, right? This will be trying to create new content, right? The second way to go viral in 2025 is to just recreate content that works and that's going viral. See, we love to have this saying in actually marketing, and a lot of people say this, right? You can make 100 videos and two of them will go viral, right? But if you recreate those two same reels or those two same viral videos in 100 different ways, then the chances of it going viral increases infinitely, right? So a lot of people try to recreate content that's already within their niche and that other people are making, but if you're doing this, you better be very specific, very keen to steal like an artist. Don't steal everything. Try to take it and try to make it your own, right? And you will be guaranteed to go viral. The second thing is content that solves your ICP's biggest problem, right? If your viewers' biggest problem is that they want to lose weight, create content on how do you lose weight, or how you make it easy to lose weight. Content that solves the biggest problem: how to lose fat within the next 10 weeks, how to stop eating fatty foods, right? And then the third thing is content that is meant to convert. You have case studies, testimonials. This is the content that is meant to kind of like show your audience your offer and just show them why they should buy in. Case studies. Tell them that you helped Jacob make lose 10 pounds. You helped Jacob reach his spiritual goals. Testimonials. Put somebody on the screen. Tell them. Have a student interview explaining, having your client or your previous client explaining how you helped them. And so that will drive sales. So the next way you can content generate is through Instagram stories to attract your ICP, right? Instagram story sequences are the number one way in which people are pushing out their offers. I want you to be very keen the next time you hop onto Instagram to watch a couple of stories out there. You'll realize what I'm saying, right? So the point of stories is to promote your programs, and basically once a week you're going to have what you like to call an Instagram story sequence, right? Where you put out your offer, you explain your offer towards your audience, you tell them the specifics, you tell them what it will help them with, and you can only do this with market research. You tell them how it will solve their specific problem, and you tell them how they can join. You know, but while we're doing this, you don't want your audience to suffer from sales fatigue, like that constant selling. Therefore, on your Instagram, you always have to ensure your audience is kind of unsuspecting of what they'll see when they click on your story. So you wanna like build a routine on your Instagram stories. You wanna have a daily rant. You wanna show something fun you're doing. If you're waking up at 5 a.m., you take a pic. You wanna break down a concept or idea like how to lose weight or how to have a stick on your diet. What are the best tricep exercises to do. You wanna show as many results as possible. Show what the boys are doing. You know and then once you've dialed in your content generation, you're ready to do your lead conversion, right? Lead conversion is where you're trying to get your audience to get to book a call. And it follows what we like to call an appointment setting framework, right? So at the end of every reel or at the end of every story, you want to basically tell them to DM something to you. You want to tell them to write this thing, and maybe you'll receive a free guide or something for free, right? A lead magnet, right? And basically what you do is you do an appointment setting framework, right? So you go out there and the people who've asked you for something, you DM them, right? So there's outbound and there's inbound. You DM new followers, commenters, story repliers, and inbound you DM people who have already DM'd you. So you send them an initial message, you try to qualify them, you identify the gap, you transition to the call, you propose the call, and you get them to book in a call with you, right? The more calls you book, the more you can assess them. You can assess how much money they have, and you can ask them to go into to ask them to buy your product or our offer, to buy into that, right? So that is the appointment setting framework. And right now I'm actually creating a good appointment setting framework, so a step by step way in which you can actually execute all of this within Clarity. That will be coming out maybe in the next 4 to 5 days. So if you want, I could give it to you, but it all depends on you, right? The second way that people do it is a video sales funnel back. So the other funnel is the video sales letter funnel. And the video sales letter funnel is basically a video sales letter, as it says in the name. It's a video that is meant to to rapidly nurture your audience from being unaware to hyper aware of your product, and they should be ready to buy, right? So it teaches your audience on the offer, the mechanism, who you are, why they should buy from you, your journey, and the journey that you are going to take them from where they currently are, point A to point B. And a video sales letter is an integral part of the business because it's an asset that's really high converting. What I like to do is that I like to attach my video sales letter with an opt in form, what we call an opt-in form, so that the people who are watching the video sales letter, we can get their information, basic information such as their names, their emails, and their phone numbers. With their emails, we put them through like a 10 email sequence where we try to write emails to them and book them into our calendar. And we also call them. We call them to try and see if they can book into our calendar. We also have a calendar in the video sales letter, just asking them, seeing if there are any leads who are ready to just book a call, right? And this is going to be a primary way where you get your audience to book a call with you, right? So there are other types of funnels, such as webinar funnels, email funnels, affiliate marketing funnels. But these two main funnels, a VSL and an Instagram funnel, are what's going to convert the leads the most. If you dial this in, I guarantee you'll make above 20K a month, right? With the video sales letter, a lot of people don't know how to write a video sales letter because they just generally don't know how to write sales letters. I have I have a sales letter script that I could give you. I also have a video sales letter framework that I could give you to use if you really want. I decided not to add it in because this video is already getting too long, right? Next, we go to sales. And sales is a part where a lot of people aren't dialed in. And the essential part of sales is just having the right systems in place in order to ensure that the clients who book a call show up and get sold on. Show up, they should be ready and they should get sold on and they should buy our thing, right? So how do we make people show up and how do we make people ready to buy? And that's the biggest questions. That's the biggest question about sales, right? So what I like to do is we do something called a pre-call sales funnel. It's basically where we send a bunch of actions we take between the time people have booked the call on the calendar and the actual sales call with us, where we try to send them as many things as possible so that by the time they get on the sales call, they buy from us, right? So we send them a pre-call VSL, just basically telling them what will happen in the call, setting expectations. We send frequently asked questions, and this is in the form of emails. We send them explanation videos, some student interviews. We send them a lot of testimonials, a lot of the wins that our community has had. We show them the how I did video where we showcase our own journey. Maybe you can showcase your fitness journey, the road you took in order to go from where you were before to where you currently are right now. I can see you're pretty jacked, Daniel. And there are many other things we do on the sales side of things. We can add the prospect into a group chat where we ensure that they show up. We try to That's one of the tactics or methods that we use in order to ensure that they show up. We try to be as personal and as close as possible. We send them at least 5 reminders 24 hours before, 6 hours before, 2 hours before, 1 hour before, 5 minutes before, just to ensure that they're showing up. And even when they don't show up for the call or they don't close, we put them into an email sequence where we try to make them come shop for the call or re-engage with us to book another call so we can sell them again. The sales side of things is more technical because that's where we start using CRMs such as Go High Level to map out our client journey. And I could build an entire system for you, but it's a bit complex, and I didn't think that we needed to go through it with this video. If it's something you're interested in, though, build how to build a CRM out, how to ensure that everybody who books a call shows up is is ready to buy, I could help you build that, right? And then finally, we come to fulfillment. And fulfillment is basically how do we ensure our clients get results? And this is more on your side, but it's just ensuring that whatever we've offered them or whatever we're presenting to them actually happens. So fulfillment is basically delivering the thing. As a business, Daniel, I want to take this business more from the other side of things like marketing, sales, and operations. And I want to take that aspect away from you. And I want you to focus strictly on fulfillment and content creation, which will take up less of your time, you know. If you're a business owner and you want to free yourself up, I genuinely believe that you need to free yourself from all these other operations and just focus on delivering a good product, because that's how we scale past even 20K a month to 100K of months, you know? So the final solution is this: you get 5 to 6 people paying $4,000 to $5,000 a month, and you make around $20,000 a month, 20K to 30K a month, and that's basically it. You deliver your goal, and you keep on scaling, improving the systems, improving your market research, editing, finding out what your clients want, improving your fulfillment, and eventually we'll get from where we are right now to hitting those 100K months. I could do this for you, and I could help you map everything out, right? Just like I've done right now within the finer details. So I could help you create a better product, market research. I could help you create a better offer. I could help you create a very good, powerful converting funnel that meets all your KPIs, and I could build your sales system. If you're interested in this solution, book a call with me, Danielle, and let's get to work. Thank you.